Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today we're on a cold, blustery day here and getting toward the end of November, and trying to figure out a way to make a water source that we don't have to fill up every day like we did last winter. We had two 400-gallon tanks in here, and rather than put a float on it and have the hydrant froze every morning, we had to stay there until they were filled up. And so we'd put the hose in, I'd go put in paddocks and maybe unroll a bale of hay, whatever. When we came back, a lot of times the tanks weren't full or they're over full. You had water coming out onto the ground here. It was just, I mean, we made it work, but it was a pain. And so we came up, I have to give credit to a fella. Well, I'm going to give him credit. I hope I can give him credit all winter. We haven't had really freezing cold weather yet. Yesterday morning it was cold. I mean, if this thing hadn't been running, it would have froze. But this is a valve from Russ Wilson, and you can buy them from Russ. I think it's Wilson. Well, if you type in Russ Wilson, I think it's Wilson Land and Cattle. He's out in Pennsylvania, and Russ came up with this design. So basically, you know, he's using a Job Megaflow float, and then he's got him a brass valve right there, and he drilled a hole in the side of it and soldered in. I don't know if you can see it there, that little petcock. It's a little tiny steel handle on it right there. And you can open that up to full flow or a dribble or whatever. And what it's doing, that nozzle there is shooting water out of there before it gets to the float. Notice what's coming out on the bottom. And so it's like somebody sitting there, I don't know what you'd want to say, taking a leak or whatever. But we've got an overflow on it right here. Oh, this is being fed by a hydrant, by the way. That hydrant is left on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we did put 4x8 plywood around. This is, we call it Windy Ridge. This is the one where my eyeballs froze shut last winter. I've never had that. I'm sorry, they froze open. I couldn't shut my eyes. The wind was so cold my eyes froze. Anyway, what we've done is we drilled a hole in there, and Russ has this little brass piece here, and you plumb that in. You just put this piece right here on it. I put a washer behind it because I didn't want it to leak. It didn't come with a washer, but I put one on there. And then we put this on. Now that's got, let me pull it back, you can see what I've got. It's got a water hose on there. I put this on there just as extra protection so that my drain coming out of the tank doesn't freak. But see, it's going through there. Just a little bit of water. Whatever's coming out of that nozzle right there is coming back out here. So it's going out onto the ground behind us, out into some grass. And I'm going to show you the flow here in a little bit. But Isaac set this float yesterday to where it's calling for water only through that petcock, except when cattle come here to drink. And when they drink, this thing drops down. Hear it? Then it shuts off. So that water's cold, but it's not froze. There's no ice on it. There's no ice on that tank anywhere. And I think it was Jackson. You mentioned yesterday how to clean the top of the tank.
Yeah, it's constantly cleaning the scum off the top layer of water.
Where's Jackson? Jackson, your cheeks are red.
Oh yeah, it's windy out here. I think it was 20 last night with the wind chill. 20
with the wind chill?
Yeah.
Yeah. That water's cold. It doesn't have ice, but boy,
it's clean.
It's nice and clean. And we've got our rubber skirts down here. And I am going to haul, I know last winter when it started raining, if it ever rains again, we're going to have some mud right here. So I'm going to bring in a couple 20-gallon tubs of rock and just dump it here. I've got a pile of it at the house. And I just don't like cattle being in mud. But this one tank here now is going to feed about half of the farm. And of course, you can see the water flow in there. It's moving. It's just circulating all the time. So we put the plywood up here just to give us a better wind break, keeps in the cold. This is north. That's north. Over there where Jackson is, that's west. And that's facing south. So we got kind of a cubby hole here to keep the wind off of it. And just give us a little more insurance. Now it's gonna get really noisy. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the flow coming out of this tank. And then I'm gonna end this video because my fingers are about froze. Here we go. Keep getting shot. There it is. Just, it's just a little tiny stream of water. And folks, that's hooked to real water. I'm paying for that water, but we're gonna measure it tomorrow. I'm guessing it's probably running about maybe a pint a minute, something like that. It's just barely coming out. Just about like a pencil, about the diameter of a pencil. Now I can open that up where it's full blast and it would be coming out a lot more. If it's 10 below zero, or if you're expecting really cold weather, you might want to do that at night. And then in the daytime when it's warmer, you can reach down there and shut it where it's coming out more like this. Anyway, that's our water system. We'll keep you up to date how it does on really cold days. Everyone have a good one. And we'll see you down the road next time. And hit that subscribe button. Thank you all.